Mama, where do babies come from? 200 real children's questions about sex education. For which age and gender is this book? The sex education book with real children's questions is primarily intended for primary school children, usually around 6 to 10 years old. It is important that parents and guardians consider the maturity and developmental stage of their children before recommending or discussing such books with them. Gender does not matter, as the book can help to give children an understanding of their bodies, love and sexuality regardless of their gender. However, it is important that parents and guardians are aware that each child is individual and that some children may be more or less mature than others regarding these topics. Parents and guardians should review the book beforehand to ensure that it aligns with their own values and beliefs and that they feel comfortable discussing the topics it covers with their children. In addition, it is advisable to conduct discussions about sex education in an age-appropriate and sensitive manner to ensure that children understand the information well and feel supported. Why are we even talking about enlightenment? The question of why is one of the most fundamental when it comes to sex education. Why should we even talk about it? Why is it important that children are informed about their bodies, love and sexuality from an early age? The answer is complex. First of all, it is important to understand that education is much more than just teaching facts about human anatomy or reproduction. Education is a process that enables children to understand themselves and their environment, to recognize their own feelings and needs, and to relate to others. Through education, children are given the tools to make their own decisions and set their own boundaries. They learn to have respect for themselves and others and to defend their own rights. This is crucial to protect them from possible abusive situations and to develop healthy self-esteem. Furthermore, education helps to reduce prejudices and stereotypes and promotes an understanding of the diversity of human experiences. By learning that there are different types of families, relationships and identities, children develop empathy and tolerance towards others. Finally, education is also an important contribution to the prevention of unwanted pregnancies, sexually transmitted diseases and sexual abuse. By informing children at an early age about contraception, safe sex and the right to physical integrity, they can better protect themselves and make healthy choices. Overall, sex education is an essential part of child development, enabling children to be self-confident, self-determined and respectful towards themselves and others. By talking openly about sex education and supporting children in asking and understanding their questions, we lay the foundation for a healthy, positive attitude towards sexuality and relationships, and thus for a fulfilled and happy life. The importance of education for children. Education plays a crucial role in children's development and has far-reaching effects on their lives and relationships. Here are some of the key reasons why education is essential for children. Self-confidence and self-esteem. Education enables children to understand their bodies and their feelings. By learning how their bodies work and what changes occur as they grow, they develop healthy self-confidence and self-esteem. Healthy relationships. Sex education helps children develop and maintain healthy relationships. By learning to practice respect, communication, and empathy in their relationships, they are better able to build positive and fulfilling relationships with family, friends, and later, romantic partners. Protection from abuse and exploitation. Education is an important protection mechanism against sexual abuse and exploitation. By learning to recognize and respect their own boundaries, children can protect themselves from potentially dangerous situations and know when and how to seek help. Responsible choices. Through education, children are empowered to make responsible choices about their health and well-being. This includes deciding on contraception, dealing with peer pressure, and maintaining their own physical and emotional boundaries. Acceptance and tolerance. Education helps reduce prejudices and stereotypes and promotes an understanding of the diversity of human experiences. By learning that there are different types of families, relationships and identities, children develop empathy and tolerance towards others. Overall, education is an essential part of child development that enables children to navigate through life confidently, respectfully and safely. By giving them the tools and knowledge they need to understand themselves and protect themselves from potential risks, we lay the foundation for a happy and fulfilling life. How parents and educators can support children in their development. Parents and educators play a crucial role in supporting children's development in terms of enlightenment. Here are some ways they can support children in their process. Open communication. Create an open and honest communication culture where children feel comfortable asking questions and talking about their thoughts and feelings. Be prepared to respond to children's questions and offer supportive and respectful answers. Availability. Show children that you are there for them when they want to have conversations about sex education. Make time for these conversations and signal that you are listening to them and taking them seriously. Age-appropriate information. Adapt the information you give children to their age and developmental stage. Use language and explanations they can understand and give them only as much information as they can handle. Respect boundaries. Respect children's boundaries and don't pressure them to talk about topics they are uncomfortable with. Give them control over when and how they want to talk about sex education. Be a role model. Be a good role model for children when it comes to respectful relationships, communication and dealing with their own feelings. Show them how to treat others respectfully and how to take responsibility for their own actions. Support when uncertain. Be there for children when they are unsure or have questions that they cannot answer on their own. Offer support and encourage them to seek help if they need it. Continuous dialogue. Education is an ongoing process, not a one-time event. Maintain dialogue with children and provide regular opportunities for discussions about education and related topics. By supporting children in their development and giving them the information, support and tools they need, parents and educators can help children grow up confident, healthy and respectful. How does my body work? The question of how the human body works is fundamental and can encourage children to better understand their own anatomy. Here are some key aspects that can be considered when answering this question. Organ systems. The body is made up of various organ systems that work together to maintain vital functions. These include the cardiovascular system, respiratory system, digestive system, nervous system, and immune system. Cells and tissues. The human body is made up of billions of cells that perform specific functions. These cells form tissues and organs, which in turn are part of the various organ systems. Breathing. Breathing is a vital process that brings oxygen into the body and removes carbon dioxide. The lungs play a central role in this process by facilitating the exchange of gases between the blood and the air. Digestion. The digestive process begins in the mouth, where food is broken down and transported to the stomach with the help of saliva. In the stomach and intestines, nutrients are absorbed and indigestible remains are excreted. Cardiovascular system. The heart pumps blood throughout the body to deliver oxygen and nutrients to cells and remove waste products. Blood vessels play an important role in this by allowing blood to flow throughout the body. Nervous system. The nervous system is responsible for controlling and coordinating all body functions. It consists of the central nervous system, brain and spinal cord, and the peripheral nervous system, nerves outside the brain and spinal cord. By learning how their bodies work, children develop a better understanding of their health and well-being. They learn how to care for and protect their bodies and are encouraged to look after their physical and mental health. Questions about anatomy and physiology. Questions about anatomy and physiology with short answers. Why do I have fingerprints? Fingerprints are formed by the pattern of skin ridges on our fingers. Each person has a unique pattern that develops in the womb. Fingerprints help distinguish us from one another and are used in forensic science. How does my heart work? The heart is a muscle that pumps blood throughout our body. It has 4 chambers, 2 atria and 2 ventricles. Blood is pumped from the atria to the ventricles and then sent through the body and lungs to pick up oxygen. Why do I have hair on certain parts of my body? Hair serves various purposes, such as protecting the skin from sun rays and injuries and regulating body temperature. The distribution of hair on our body is genetic and varies from person to person. What are organs and why do I need them? Organs are specialized structures in the body that perform specific functions. For example, the heart pumps blood, the lungs help with breathing, and the liver helps detoxify the body. Why do I have a stomach ache when I'm hungry? Abdominal pain when hungry occurs because the stomach is empty and contracts. This can lead to an uncomfortable feeling known as hunger. Eating replenishes the stomach and relieves the abdominal pain. How can I better understand how my bones work? Bones give our bodies structure and support our movements. They are made up of bone marrow, which produces blood cells, and minerals that give them strength. We can support our bone health through healthy eating and exercise. Why does my voice change as I get older? Changes in the voice throughout life are due in part to the development of the larynx. During puberty, the larynx changes in boys and girls, resulting in a deeper voice in boys and an overall change in pitch in both sexes. Why are some people taller or shorter than others? A person's height is determined by a combination of genetic and environmental factors. Genes influence maximum growth height, while diet, health and lifestyle can also play a role. How does my brain work when I learn? The brain is the control center of our body and plays a crucial role in learning. When we learn new things, new connections form between nerve cells in the brain, leading to better understanding and memories. Why do I sometimes get muscle cramps? Muscle cramps can have a variety of causes, such as dehydration, overexertion, or electrolyte imbalances. They occur when a muscle contracts uncontrollably and can often be relieved by stretching and rest. How does the digestive system work? The digestive system breaks food down into smaller components so that it can be absorbed by the body. This is done by enzymes and acids in the stomach and intestines that break down nutrients such as proteins, carbohydrates and fats. Why do I sometimes blush when I'm embarrassed? Blushing is a natural response to emotional arousal, such as shame or embarrassment. When we feel ashamed, the blood vessels in our skin dilate, causing an increase in blood flow and a red face. What are hormones and how do they affect my body? Hormones are chemical messengers that control various processes in the body, such as growth, metabolism, and mood. They are produced by glands in the body and released into the bloodstream to act on various cells and organs. Why do I have to breathe and what happens in my body? Breathing is a vital process that brings oxygen into the body and removes carbon dioxide. This is done through inhalation and exhalation, during which the lungs take in oxygen from the air and release carbon dioxide. How does my immune system work and why do I sometimes get sick? The immune system is the body's defense system against pathogens such as viruses, bacteria and parasites. It is made up of various cells and organs that work together to fight infections and keep the body healthy. Sometimes we get sick when the immune system is unable to fight off an infection, or when it becomes overactive and attacks the body's own cells. These short answers can serve as a basis for teaching children the complexities of anatomy and physiology in an understandable way. It is important to adapt the information to suit the age group and leave room for further questions and discussion. Why am I different from others? The question of why we are all different is a fascinating and complex one that encompasses many facets of human existence. Here are some aspects that explain why we are all unique. Genetic diversity. Each person has a unique combination of genes inherited from our parents. This genetic diversity is one of the main reasons why we all look different, have different characteristics, and have different susceptibility to disease. Environmental influences. In addition to our genes, we are also shaped by our environment, including our upbringing, our life experiences, our social environment and our cultural conditioning. These environmental influences shape our personality, our values and our behaviors in unique ways. Development and experiences. Every person goes through an individual development that is shaped by the experiences they have throughout their lives. These experiences can influence the way we think, feel and act and help to differentiate us from others. Personal preferences and interests. Each person has different preferences, interests, and passions that make them unique. These personal preferences can manifest in our hobbies, career choices, creative expression, and more. Biological differences. In addition to genetic diversity, there are also biological differences between people, such as differences in gender, body type, health, and physical characteristics. These differences can contribute to making us different from one another and unique. Overall, we are all the result of a unique combination of genetic, environmental and experiential factors that make us the individual people we are. Our uniqueness is something to celebrate and adds to the diversity and beauty of human society. What is love? The question of the meaning of love is one of the most profound and universal questions that concerns people. Love is a complex and multifaceted feeling that can take many different forms and expressions. Here are some aspects that shed light on the meaning of love. Feeling of connection. Love often involves a feeling of connection to other people, whether family members, friends, or romantic partners. It is the feeling of being close, caring, and supporting one another. Caring and compassion. Love also involves a deep caring and strong compassion for other people. It is about looking after their well-being, helping them when they need help, and supporting them in difficult times. Respect and acceptance. Love also means accepting other people as they are and showing respect for their individuality and needs. It's about respecting each other and giving each other space to be themselves. Trust and reliability. Love is often based on strong trust and reliability between people. It's about trusting each other, being able to rely on each other and going through ups and downs together. Joy and happiness. Love can also bring a feeling of joy and happiness when spending time with the people you love. It is the feeling of security, contentment and fulfillment that comes from feeling loved and appreciated. Selfless devotion. Love often includes a selfless devotion to other people, where one is willing to work for their well-being and happiness, even if it requires sacrifice. Overall, love is a deeply human and universal emotion that connects us to one another and helps us build and maintain meaningful relationships. It is an emotion that gives us hope, empowers us, and inspires us to be the best versions of ourselves. Emotional connections and relationships. Emotional connections and relationships play a central role in human life and contribute significantly to our well-being and life satisfaction. Here are some key aspects that explain why emotional connections and relationships are so important. Support and comfort. Emotional relationships provide us with support and comfort during difficult times. When we are feeling down or stressed, we can count on the support of our loved ones to cheer us up and help us through difficult times. Shared experiences and joy. Emotional connections allow us to share joy and happiness with others. Through shared experiences and moments of laughter and joy, we can feel connected and share our positive experiences with others. Understanding and acceptance. In emotional relationships we feel understood and accepted. We can talk openly about our thoughts, feelings and experiences without fear of rejection or judgment, and support and encourage each other to be ourselves. Boosting self-esteem. Emotional connections help boost our self-esteem. When we are loved and valued, we feel valuable and important, which helps us develop a positive self-image and confidence. Growth and development. Emotional relationships provide us with the opportunity for growth and personal development. By sharing thoughts and ideas, supporting us in overcoming challenges and encouraging self-reflection, we can develop and grow. Meaning and purpose. Emotional relationships give meaning and purpose to our lives. They add deeper meaning to our daily lives and help us connect with other people and live fulfilling and meaningful lives. Overall, emotional connections and relationships are crucial to our emotional well-being and life satisfaction. They provide us with support, joy, understanding and acceptance, and enrich our lives in many ways. Family, friendship and romance. Family, friendship and romance are three fundamental types of relationships that are vital to our emotional well-being and life satisfaction. Here are some key aspects that explain why these relationships are so significant. Family, support and cohesion. The family offers us support and cohesion in all situations. It is often our most important social network and offers us emotional support, practical help and comfort in difficult times. Identity and belonging. The family is a central part of our identity and gives us a sense of belonging and connection. Through our family we learn who we are and where we come from and develop a sense of togetherness. Shared memories and traditions. In the family, we share common memories and traditions that connect us and help us preserve our history and values. These shared experiences strengthen our bond and sense of togetherness. Friendship, support and trust. Friendships provide us with support, understanding and trust. They are often a source of comfort and advice when we need it and offer us a sense of security and safety. Common interests and activities. In friendships, we often share common interests, hobbies and activities that bring us joy and bring us closer together. These shared experiences create strong bonds and deep friendships. Mutual growth and development. Friendships offer us the opportunity for growth and personal development. By sharing thoughts, ideas and experiences, we learn from each other and support each other on our journey through life. Romance. Intimacy and connection. Romantic relationships offer us intimacy and a deep emotional connection with another person. They allow us to be open and vulnerable and to feel loved and appreciated by our partner. Life partnership and support. In romantic relationships, we often share our lives with our partner and support each other in overcoming challenges and achieving goals. We go through ups and downs together and stand by each other no matter what. Shared dreams and goals. Romantic relationships allow us to pursue shared dreams and goals and build a shared future. We share our hopes, desires and ambitions with each other and work together to make them come true. Overall, family, friendship and romance are three fundamental types of relationships that support, enrich and fulfill us. They give meaning and purpose to our lives and help us live happy and fulfilling lives. What is sexuality? Sexuality is a complex and multifaceted topic that encompasses many different aspects of human life. In general, sexuality refers to the way people experience, express and identify their sexuality. Here are some key aspects that shed light on the meaning of sexuality. Biological aspects. Sexuality includes biological processes and characteristics associated with sex, such as anatomy, reproduction and sexual health. It also includes hormonal changes in the body that occur during puberty and affect sexual development. Emotional and relational components. Sexuality also includes emotional and relational aspects, such as intimacy, affection, love and connection. These aspects play an important role in the development of interpersonal relationships and the creation of emotional closeness with other people. Identity and orientation. Sexuality also includes the way people understand and define their sexual identity and orientation. This can include various aspects, such as identifying as heterosexual, homosexual or bisexual, as well as exploring and accepting one's own sexual identity. Cultural and social influences. Sexuality is also shaped by cultural and social factors, such as cultural norms, values and expectations regarding sexuality and gender. These factors can influence the way people experience and express their sexuality, as well as the social acceptance of certain forms of sexual expression, self-expression and enjoyment. Sexuality also includes the aspect of self-expression and enjoyment, where people can explore and live out their sexuality in individual and creative ways. This can take various forms, such as sexual fantasies, desires and preferences, as well as exploring new sexual experiences and activities. Overall, sexuality is a complex and personal topic that is influenced by many different factors. It is important that people explore and understand their own sexuality in a respectful and sensitive way, taking into account their own needs, boundaries and preferences. Clarification of terms and concepts. Clarifying terms and concepts is an important step in developing a deeper understanding of complex topics. Here are some basic steps and approaches to clarify terms and concepts. Find definitions. Start by looking up the definition of the term or concept. This can be done in dictionaries, textbooks, encyclopedias, or online resources. It is important to look for trusted sources to get accurate and reliable definitions. Perform explanation. After you find a definition, try to understand the concept or term by explaining it in your own words. Think about how the term is used in different contexts and what meaning it has for you personally. Use examples. Use examples to illustrate and clarify the concept or term. This can help make abstract ideas more tangible and deepen understanding. Consider opposite and similar terms. Consider the opposite of the concept or term as well as similar terms to develop a more comprehensive understanding. This can help identify the differences and similarities between different concepts. Consider context. Consider the context in which the term or concept is used. Examine how it is applied in different disciplines, cultures, or areas of life and how its meaning may change depending on the context. Ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions if you don't understand something. Ask for further explanations, examples or clarifications to deepen your understanding and clear up any misunderstandings. By following these steps and using different approaches to clarify terms and concepts, you can improve your understanding of complex topics and lay a solid foundation for further learning and exploration. Different expressions of sexuality. Sexuality can be expressed in many different ways, and this diversity is an important part of the human experience. Here are some different ways sexuality can be expressed. Heterosexuality. Heterosexuality refers to sexual attraction and relationships between persons of opposite sexes. This is the most common form of sexuality and is considered the normal or traditional form of sexuality in many cultures. Homosexuality. Homosexuality refers to sexual attraction and relationships between people of the same sex. People who are homosexual are attracted to people of their own sex and have romantic or sexual relationships with them. Bisexuality. Bisexuality refers to sexual attraction and relationships with people regardless of their gender. People who are bisexual are attracted to people of all genders and can have romantic or sexual relationships with both men and women. Pansexuality. Pansexuality refers to sexual attraction and relationships with people regardless of their gender, gender identity, or gender expression. People who are pansexual are attracted to people of any gender identity and may have romantic or sexual relationships with them. Asexuality. Asexuality refers to the absence of sexual attraction or disinterest in sexual relationships. People who are asexual can enter into romantic relationships and develop strong emotional bonds with other people, but do not experience sexual attraction. Other forms of sexuality. In addition to the expressions mentioned above, there are many other forms of sexuality based on individual preferences, identities and life experiences. These include polyamory, fetishism, BDSM, bondage, discipline, dominance, submission, sadism, masochism, and many more. It is important to emphasize that all forms of sexuality are valid and that every person has the right to express their sexuality in a way that is personally authentic and fulfilling. Respect, acceptance and tolerance of the diversity of human sexuality are crucial for an inclusive and supportive society. How is a baby created? The creation of a baby is a complex process consisting of different stages. Here is a simplified explanation of the reproductive process. Fertilization. Fertilization is the process by which an egg and a sperm cell fuse together to form a fertilized egg. This usually occurs in a woman's fallopian tubes after a sperm cell enters the vagina during sexual intercourse and finds its way to the egg. Implantation. After fertilization, the fertilized egg begins to divide as it travels through the fallopian tube to the uterus. There, it implants itself in the uterine lining and begins to develop further. Embryonic development. The fertilized egg develops into an embryo over time. This process includes the formation of various tissues, organs and body systems. During the first weeks of pregnancy, important structures such as the nervous system, heart and limbs of the embryo develop. Pregnancy. During pregnancy, the embryo grows into a fetus and is surrounded and nourished by the uterus. Pregnancy usually lasts about 9 months, although this can vary depending on individual factors. Birth. Birth occurs at the end of pregnancy when the fetus is ready to leave the womb. Labor begins to initiate the birth process and the baby is delivered through the birth canal. After birth, the baby is usually cared for by medical staff and can then be cared for by the parents. These are the basic steps involved in the creation of a baby. It is important to note that this is a complex and fascinating process influenced by many factors, and that each baby is unique and is born in their own way. Information about pregnancy and birth. Pregnancy and childbirth education is an important part of sexuality and health education. Here are some key aspects that should be considered in pregnancy and childbirth education. Anatomy and physiology. It is important to provide students with a basic understanding of the female and male reproductive organs and explain how pregnancy and birth occur physiologically. Reproduction. Students should be taught how fertilization occurs, how a fertilized egg develops into an embryo, and how the embryo develops throughout pregnancy. Contraception. Pregnancy and childbirth education should include information about different methods of pregnancy prevention, including contraceptives, abstinence and family planning. Prenatal health. Students should be educated about the importance of a healthy pregnancy and prenatal care, including nutrition, medical screenings, and lifestyle choices during pregnancy. Birth preparation. Education about pregnancy and birth should also include information about the birth process, including signs and symptoms of impending labor, birthing positions, pain relief options, and medical interventions. Postnatal care. Students should also be educated about the importance of postnatal care and recovery, including breastfeeding, postpartum care, and emotional support for new parents. It is important that education about pregnancy and childbirth is age-appropriate and sensitive, and that students have the opportunity to ask questions and raise concerns. Through comprehensive education, students can develop a better understanding of their reproductive health and make informed decisions about their sexual behavior and family planning. The role of parenthood and family planning. The role of parenthood and family planning is crucial for individual life planning, family well-being and society as a whole. Here are some key aspects that illustrate the importance of parenthood and family planning. Responsibility and care. Parenthood carries a great responsibility for the care, upbringing and development of children. Parents are responsible for providing their children with love, support, guidance and to protect and help them grow into healthy, happy and responsible adults. Family bonding and cohesion. Parenting strengthens the bonding and cohesion within families. Parents and children form close relationships based on trust, respect and love, which form the foundation for a strong and supportive family structure. Reproduction and population control. Family planning plays an important role in controlling population numbers and ensuring that parents have the resources and support they need to care for their children. By consciously planning pregnancies, families can improve their financial stability, health and well-being, maternal and child health. Family planning helps improve the health of mothers and children by enabling them to control the timing and number of pregnancies and ensuring they have the necessary prenatal care and support. Education and career development. Family planning enables parents to pursue their educational and career goals and improve their financial stability by planning the number and spacing of pregnancies and ensuring they have the resources to adequately support their children. Individual freedom and self-determination. Family planning gives people the opportunity to have their reproductive rights and choices respected and protected and to ensure that they have the freedom to decide about their own bodies and their own future. Overall, parenthood and family planning are crucial for the well-being of individuals, families and societies. Responsible parenting and careful family planning can strengthen families and create the conditions for a healthy, happy and sustainable future. Why are there differences between girls and boys? The differences between girls and boys are the result of a combination of genetic, hormonal, biological, social and environmental factors. Here are some reasons why these differences may occur. Genetics. Girls and boys have different chromosome compositions. Girls have two X chromosomes, XX, while boys have one X and one Y chromosome, XY. These genetic differences affect many aspects of physical development, including sex organs, hormone production, and secondary sex characteristics. Hormonal differences. Girls and boys produce different amounts of hormones such as estrogen and testosterone, which can cause a variety of physical and physiological differences. For example, boys tend to have higher testosterone levels, which can lead to greater muscle development and more body hair. Biological differences. Girls and boys have different physical characteristics and functions due to their biological differences. For example, girls typically have higher body fat percentage and a wider pelvic structure, while boys tend to be taller and more powerful. Social and cultural factors. Girls and boys are often raised and socialized differently based on gender expectations, roles and norms in society. These social and cultural influences can cause girls and boys to develop different interests, behaviors and abilities. Environmental influences. Environmental factors such as diet, lifestyle, education and family environment can also contribute to the differences between girls and boys. For example, dietary habits and physical activity can influence physical development, while education and family support can influence cognitive and emotional development. Overall, the differences between girls and boys are the result of a complex interaction of genetic, biological, social and environmental factors. It is important to stress that these differences should not lead to hierarchies or value judgments and that all people, regardless of their gender, deserve equal opportunities and possibilities. Biological and social gender differences. Biological and social sex differences refer to the differences between the biological characteristics and functions of male and female organisms and the social constructs and expectations associated with gender. Here are some key differences between biological and social sex differences. Biological sex differences. Chromosomes and genetics. Biologically, males typically have one X and one Y chromosome, XY, while females have two X chromosomes, XX. These chromosomal differences determine many of the physical and physiological differences between the sexes. Hormonal differences. Men and women have different hormone levels. Men generally produce more testosterone, while women produce more estrogen and progesterone. These hormones affect a variety of physical and physiological characteristics, including muscle mass, fat distribution, and reproductive functions. Anatomical differences. There are also anatomical differences between the sexes, such as the anatomy of the reproductive organs, body size, body structure and body hair. Social gender differences. Gender roles and expectations. Social gender differences refer to the social norms, expectations, and roles associated with male and female. These gender roles may vary culturally, but they can influence the way men and women behave, dress, communicate, and perform their roles in society. Gender stereotypes. Social gender differences are often reinforced by gender stereotypes that associate certain characteristics, abilities, and behaviors with a particular gender. For example, men are often associated with characteristics such as strength, independence, and rationality, while women are often associated with characteristics such as caring, emotionality, and sensitivity. Gender inequality. Social gender differences can also lead to gender inequality by affecting access to resources, opportunities and rights for men and women. These inequalities can manifest in areas such as education, employment, politics and domestic violence. Overall, biological and social sex differences are closely related and can influence each other. It is important to note that gender is a complex and multifaceted concept that includes both biological and social components and can change over time and across different cultures. Acceptance and respect for diversity. Acceptance and respect for diversity are fundamental principles that promote an inclusive and just society. Here are some reasons why acceptance and respect for diversity are important. Dignity and human rights. Every person deserves dignity and respect regardless of their characteristics, identities or circumstances. Acceptance and respect for diversity are fundamental principles based on human rights that promote the equality and equal rights of all people. Inclusion and equity. Acceptance and respect for diversity promote an inclusive and equitable society in which everyone has the opportunity to develop their full potential and participate in social life, regardless of their gender, ethnicity, sexual orientation, abilities or other characteristics. Enrichment and innovation. Diversity enriches our social, cultural and economic life by generating different perspectives, experiences and ideas. By accepting and respecting diversity, we promote innovation, creativity and collaboration in our society. Empathy and compassion. Acceptance and respect for diversity promote empathy and compassion towards other people by encouraging us to put ourselves in other people's shoes and to understand and acknowledge their experiences, feelings and needs. Prevention of discrimination and prejudice. Acceptance and respect for diversity help combat discrimination, prejudice and bias by promoting recognition and appreciation of the uniqueness and differences of all people. Promoting social cohesion. Acceptance and respect for diversity promote social cohesion and solidarity in our society by fostering a sense of belonging, connection and common destiny among all people. Overall, acceptance and respect for diversity are essential values that form the foundation of a just, inclusive and harmonious society. By valuing and celebrating diversity, we can create a world in which all people are equal and respected. How can I protect myself? Protecting yourself from various risks and hazards is important to ensure your safety and well-being. Here are some basic steps you can take to protect yourself. Awareness and alertness. Stay alert and aware of your surroundings. Watch for suspicious behavior or potentially dangerous situations and trust your gut instinct if something is wrong. Know your surroundings. Know your surroundings, especially when you are in new places. Be aware of emergency exits, safe areas, and other important locations that can help you in an emergency. Communication. Communicate openly and honestly with other people about your concerns, needs and boundaries. Share your location with trusted people and keep them informed of your plans and activities. Self-defense. Consider learning self-defense techniques or courses to help you defend yourself in emergency situations. These courses can give you the confidence and skills to protect yourself in potentially dangerous situations. Emergency planning. Create an emergency plan for various scenarios, including natural disasters, medical emergencies, or criminal incidents. Make sure you know what to do and where to get help if you find yourself in an emergency. Healthy lifestyle. Maintain a healthy lifestyle that promotes your physical and mental health. Eat a balanced diet. Exercise regularly. Make sure you get enough sleep and find ways to reduce stress. Boundary setting and self-respect. Set clear boundaries for yourself and communicate them clearly to others. Don't let yourself be pressured into doing things you don't want to do and respect other people's boundaries. Use trusted sources. Use trusted sources for information and advice on security issues, especially when it comes to protecting yourself from online threats or scams. By following these steps and taking proactive measures to protect your safety, you can help minimize the risk of dangers and threats and live a safer and more secure life. Education about contraception and prevention. Education about contraception and prevention is crucial to prevent unwanted pregnancies and reduce the risk of sexually transmitted infections, STIs. Here are some key points to consider in education about contraception and prevention. Information about contraceptive methods. Provide comprehensive information about different contraceptive methods, including barrier methods such as condoms, hormonal methods such as the pill, long-term methods such as the intrauterine device, IUD, common and natural methods such as natural family planning. Explain how each method works, its advantages and disadvantages, and its effectiveness. Condom use. Emphasize the importance of condom use as an effective method for preventing unwanted pregnancy and sexually transmitted infections, STIs. Explain how to use condoms correctly to maximize their effectiveness and encourage condom use during all sexual encounters, especially unprotected sex with new partners or partners whose STI status is unknown. Preventing STIs. Provide information about sexually transmitted infections, STIs, including the most common infections such as chlamydia, gonorrhea, and HIV/AIDS. Explain the risk factors for STIs and emphasize the importance of regular STI testing, safe sexual practices, and condom use to protect against infection. Contraception. Discuss the different methods of contraception and how they can be used to prevent unwanted pregnancies. Emphasize the importance of taking hormonal contraceptives such as the pill regularly and using emergency contraception such as the morning after pill in a timely manner if unprotected sex has occurred. Respectful relationships and communication. Emphasize the importance of respectful relationships and open communication between partners about sexual health, contraception, and personal boundaries. Encourage open discussion about contraception methods, sexual preferences, and concerns to promote safe and fulfilling sex lives. Access to health services. Ensure that information is provided on access to health services for contraception, pregnancy testing, STI testing and counseling. Emphasize the importance of confidential and accessible health services, especially for young people and those with limited financial resources. By providing comprehensive education on contraception and prevention and promoting access to safe and effective contraception methods and health services, you can help reduce unintended pregnancies and sexually transmitted infections and improve sexual health and well-being. Setting boundaries and respecting your own and others' integrity. Setting boundaries and respecting your own and others' integrity are essential aspects of healthy and respectful interpersonal relationships. Here are some key points that can help you set boundaries and respect integrity. Knowing your own boundaries. Take time to reflect on your own boundaries and identify what is and is not acceptable to you personally. This can refer to physical, emotional, mental and spiritual boundaries. Communication. Communicate openly and honestly about your boundaries with other people. Be clear and precise in your statements and make your needs and preferences known without fear of negative reactions. Respect other people's boundaries. Respect other people's boundaries and desires as well as your own. Actively listen and pay attention to how others feel and what they say, and accept their choices, even if they differ from your own. Saying no. Learn to say no when you feel uncomfortable or unwilling to perform a certain action or activity. It's important to respect your own boundaries and not push yourself to do something you don't want to do. Recognize boundary violations. Be alert to other people's behaviors or actions that may violate or exceed your boundaries. Don't let anyone violate your personal integrity. And actively advocate for yourself when you feel uncomfortable. Self-esteem and self-respect. Nurture your self-esteem and self-respect by respecting yourself and taking your own needs and desires seriously. Believe in yourself and consider yourself valuable enough to protect and defend your boundaries. Respectfully enforce boundaries. Enforce your boundaries in a respectful and non-confrontational manner. Stay calm and firm in your communication and don't let others pressure you to cross your boundaries. By setting boundaries and respecting integrity, you foster healthy interpersonal dynamics that emphasize respect, consideration, and mutual understanding. This helps strengthen relationships and create an environment where everyone involved can feel safe and respected. 200 short questions and answers I don't trust mum to ask. Question 1. Why are my breasts different from yours? Answer 1. Girls and boys have different bodies, and breasts are a normal development in girls that usually begins during puberty. Question 2. Why can't I eat whatever I want? Answer 2. Some foods are healthier than others and can help our bodies stay strong and healthy. Your mother makes sure you eat the right things so you can grow big and strong. Question 3. Why do people sometimes look at my body strangely? Answer 3. Some people are curious about other people and may therefore sometimes look intently at different parts of their body. It is important to know that it is not rude to be comfortable in your own body and to respect privacy. Question 4. Why are some children in my class treated differently? Answer 4. Everyone is unique and has different needs and interests. Some children may need more support or have special skills that need to be addressed differently to help them reach their full potential. Question 5. Why am I not allowed to talk to strangers? Answer 5. Your mother wants to make sure you are safe, so it is important that you be cautious when talking to strangers. She wants to make sure you don't trust anyone you don't know, and that you know how to get help if you feel uncomfortable. Question 6. Why am I not allowed to play outside alone? Answer 6. Your mother wants to make sure you are safe when you play outside. Sometimes there are dangers like cars or strangers that she wants to protect you from, so it's important that you stay close to her or play with others. Question 7. Why am I not allowed to bathe alone? Answer 7. Your mother wants to make sure you are safe when you bathe. Even if you are a big boy girl, it is important to have someone nearby to make sure nothing bad happens. Question 8. Why am I not allowed to go to the cinema alone? Answer 8. Your mother wants to make sure you are in a safe environment when you go to the movies. Sometimes there are people or things that might scare you, and that is why it is important that she is with you to protect you and make sure you have fun. Question 9. Why is it important to wash your hands? Answer 9. Washing your hands helps remove germs and bacteria from our hands that could make us sick. Your mother wants to make sure you stay healthy, so it's important that you wash your hands regularly. Question 10. Why do I always have to go to bed on time? Answer 10. Getting enough sleep is important so that our bodies and brains can rest and recover. Your mother wants to make sure you get enough sleep so that you are refreshed and ready for new adventures the next day. Question 11. Why am I not allowed to watch TV as long as I want? Answer 11. Too much television can be bad for our eyes and our brain. Your mother wants to make sure you have enough time to move around, play and do other activities that are good for you. Question 12. Why is it important to do my homework? Answer 12. Homework helps us learn and deepen our knowledge. Your mother wants to make sure that you succeed in school and get good grades, so it is important that you do your homework. Question 13. Why can't I eat too many sweets? Answer 13. Too much sugar can be bad for our teeth and our body. Your mother wants to make sure that you stay healthy and don't eat too many sweets that are not good for us. Question 14. Why is it important to help other people? Answer 14. Helping other people is a good quality that shows us how to be kind and caring. Your mother wants to make sure that you have a good heart and that you will help others in need when they need help. Question 15. Why am I not allowed to surf the internet alone? Answer 15. The internet can offer many good things, but there are also many dangers such as inappropriate content or people who might try to harm you. Your mother wants to make sure you are safe when you use the internet, so it is important that she is there to protect you. Question 16. Why am I not allowed to buy everything I want in the supermarket? Answer 16. There are many things to buy in the supermarket, but not everything is good for our bodies or our budget. Your mother wants to make sure that you buy healthy food and don't spend too much money, so it's important that she helps you make the right choices. Question 17. Why am I not allowed to ride my bike alone? Answer 17. Your mother wants to make sure you are safe when you ride your bike. Sometimes riding on the road can be dangerous, so it is important that she is there to look after you and make sure you do not have an accident. Question 18. Why is it important to lock the door? Answer 18. Locking the door helps keep our home safe and protects us from unwanted guests. Your mother wants to make sure you feel safe, so it's important that we always lock the door when we leave or go to sleep. Question 19. Why is it important not to go with strangers? Answer 19. Sometimes strangers can be dangerous and can harm us. Your mother wants to make sure you are safe, so it is important that you never go with strangers or trust them if you do not know them. Question 20. Why is it important to protect our environment? Answer 20. Our environment is important to our survival and well-being. Your mother wants to make sure you have a healthy and clean environment to live in, so it is important that we all do our part to protect and preserve the environment. Question 21. Why am I not always allowed to take my favorite toy to school? Answer 21. There are many other children at school and it is important that everyone has the same rules to avoid arguments and to be fair. Your mother wants to make sure that you have fun at school but also follow the rules. Question 22. Why do I sometimes have to take medication? Answer 22. Sometimes we need medicine to feel better or to treat illnesses. Your mother wants to make sure you are healthy, so she gives you medicine when you are sick and need it. Question 23. Why is it important to listen to other people? Answer 23. Listening is an important skill that helps us understand others and be empathetic. Your mother wants to make sure that you are respectful and considerate of other people's feelings and needs, so it is important that you listen to other people when they speak. Question 24. Why am I not always allowed to decide what we eat? Answer 24. It is important to have a balanced diet that contains all the nutrients our body needs to stay healthy. Your mother wants to make sure you eat enough fruits, vegetables and other healthy foods, so it is important that she sometimes decides what is on the menu. Question 25. Why do I sometimes have to be quiet? Answer 25. Sometimes we need quiet to concentrate or not to disturb other people. Your mother wants to make sure that you can concentrate on your tasks and not distract others, so it is important that you are quiet sometimes. Question 26. Why am I not always allowed to do everything myself? Answer 26. It's important that we help each other and work together to get things done. Your mother wants to make sure that you learn to take responsibility and help others, so it's important that you accept help sometimes and don't do everything yourself. Question 27. Why do I sometimes have to apologize? Answer 27. Apologizing is important when we have wronged others or hurt their feelings. Your mother wants to make sure you are respectful and compassionate, so it is important that you apologize when you have made a mistake. Question 28. Why do I sometimes have to be patient? Answer 28. Having patience is important to learning how to wait and respect other people. Your mother wants to make sure you are patient and give others time to complete their tasks or express their thoughts, so it is important that you have patience at times. Question 29. Why is it important to follow the rules? Answer 29. Rules help us to be safe and respectful and promote peaceful coexistence. Your mother wants to make sure that you are responsible and respect the rules that apply in our home and in society, so it is important that you follow the rules. Question 30. Why am I not always allowed to eat on the sofa? Answer 30. Eating on the sofa can cause stains and make the sofa dirty. Your mother wants to make sure our home stays clean and tidy, so it's important that you don't always eat on the sofa. Question 31. Why am I not allowed to play outside all day? Answer 31. Playing outside is great, but it is also important that you spend enough time indoors to rest and do other activities. Your mother wants to make sure. Question 32. Why do I sometimes have to do my homework before I can play? Answer 32. Homework is important for learning and development. Your mother wants to make sure that you take your school responsibilities seriously and complete your homework before moving on to other things. Question 33. Why am I not always allowed to do what my friends do? Answer 33. Sometimes your friends have different rules or things that are okay for them but not necessarily appropriate for you. Your mum wants to make sure you stay safe and healthy, so you may not always be able to do the same things as your friends. Question 34. Why is it important to be polite? Answer 34. Politeness is important to show respect and appreciation to other people. Your mother wants to make sure that you are respectful and kind, so it is important that you are polite and treat other people with decency. Question 35. Why am I not always allowed to choose the TV program? Answer 35. There are many different programs on television, and not all of them are suitable or appropriate for you. Your mother wants to make sure you watch things that are appropriate for your age and interests, so sometimes she gets to choose the television program. Question 36. Why is it important to clean up your toys? Answer 36. Tidying up helps keep things organized and makes them easier to find. Your mum wants to make sure you are responsible and take care of your things, so it's important that you put your toys away when you're done with them. Question 37. Why do I sometimes have to share things? Answer 37. Sharing is important to show other people that we are kind and generous. Your mother wants to make sure that you are a good friend and help other people, so it is important that you sometimes share things that you have. Question 38. Why do I sometimes have to wait? Answer 38. Being able to wait is important for learning patience and giving other people a chance to do their tasks. Your mother wants to make sure you are patient and give other people time, so it is important that you sometimes wait before doing something. Question 39. Why can't I always have everything I want? Answer 39. It is important that we learn to deal with disappointments and not always having our wishes fulfilled. Your mother wants to make sure that you are responsible and learn to deal with limitations, so it is important that you cannot always have everything you want. Question 40. Why is it important to respect each other? Answer 40. Respect is important to promote peaceful and harmonious coexistence. Your mother wants to make sure that you are a respectful person and that you respect other people's feelings and needs, so it is important that you respect each other. Question 41. Why do I sometimes have to choose my clothes myself? Answer 41. Independence is important to learn to make your own decisions and take responsibility. Your mother wants to make sure that you become independent and develop your own preferences, so she may sometimes let you choose your own clothes. Question 42. Why am I not always allowed to play on the floor? Answer 42. Sometimes the floor can be dirty or unhygienic, so it is important that you play in a clean and safe place. Your mother wants to make sure that you are safe and don't hurt yourself, so sometimes she may not let you play on the floor. Question 43. Why is it important to forgive other people? Answer 43. Forgiveness is important to find peace and let go of negative feelings. Your mother wants to make sure that you are a good friend and give other people a second chance. So it is important that you learn to forgive. Question 44. Why am I not always allowed to watch my favorite show on TV? Answer 44. There are many different shows on television and not all of them are suitable or appropriate for your age. Your mother wants to make sure you watch things that are suitable for you and won't scare or unsettle you. So sometimes she won't let you watch your favorite show. Question 45. Why do I sometimes have to go to school when I don't feel like it? Answer 45. Education is important for learning and development. Your mother wants to make sure you succeed and get good grades. So it is important that you go to school even if you don't feel like it. Question 46. Why can't I always do what I want? Answer 46. It is important that we learn to compromise and be considerate of other people's needs. Your mother wants to make sure that you are respectful and follow the rules, so she cannot always let you do what you want. Question 47. Why is it important to be honest? Answer 47. Honesty is important to building trust and strengthening relationships. Your mother wants to make sure that you are a trustworthy person and that you tell other people the truth. So it is important that you are honest. Question 48. Why am I not always allowed to do everything myself? Answer 48. Sometimes we need help or support from other people to get things done. Your mother wants to make sure you are successful and not overwhelmed, so she can't always let you do everything yourself. Question 49. Why do I sometimes have to take responsibility? Answer 49. Taking responsibility is important to learn to be responsible for our actions and accept the consequences. Your mother wants to make sure that you become independent and make good decisions. So it is important that you take responsibility sometimes. Question 50. Why is it important to help other people? Answer 50. Helping other people is a good quality that shows us how to be kind and caring. Your mother wants to make sure that you have a good heart and are willing to help other people in need. So it is important that you help other people when they need help. Question 51. Why can't I always have my room the way I want it? Answer 51. It is important that we learn to keep things tidy and take responsibility for our space. Your mother wants to make sure that you learn to clean and tidy your room, so she cannot always let you arrange your room the way you want. Question 52. Why do I sometimes have to involve other children in my play? Answer 52. It is important that we learn to work with and respect other people. Your mother wants to make sure that you are a good friend and do not exclude other children. So it is important that you sometimes include other children in your play. Question 53. Why am I not always allowed to have what other children have? Answer 53. Every child is unique and has different things that belong to them. Your mother wants to make sure that you learn to be grateful for what you have and not to be jealous of other children's things. So she can't always let you have what other children have. Question 54. Why is it important to apologize when you make a mistake? Answer 54. Apologizing is important to show that you take responsibility for your actions and are willing to make amends. Your mother wants to make sure that you are an honest and sincere person, so it is important that you apologize when you have made a mistake. Question 55. Why am I not allowed to play outside as long as I want? Answer 55. Playing outside is great, but it's also important that you have enough time to rest and do other things. Your mother wants to make sure you're healthy and getting enough sleep, so she can't always let you play outside as long as you want. Question 56. Why is it important to listen to other people? Answer 56. Listening is important to understanding other people and treating them with respect. Your mother wants to make sure that you are a thoughtful and empathetic person, so it is important that you listen to other people when they speak. Question 57. Why can't I always do whatever I want? Answer 57. It is important that we learn to compromise and respect the needs of others. Your mother wants to make sure that you are a considerate person and follow the rules, so she cannot always let you do what you want. Question 58. Why do I sometimes have to do things that I don't enjoy? Answer 58. Sometimes we have to do things we don't necessarily enjoy in order to take responsibility and fulfill our duties. Your mother wants to make sure that you learn to do your chores and take responsibility for your actions, so sometimes she may let you do things that you don't enjoy. Question 59. Why am I not always allowed to do what the other children do? Answer 59. Every child is unique and has different interests and preferences. Your mother wants to make sure that you make your own decisions and don't just do what other children do, so she can't always make you do what the other children do. Question 60. Why do I sometimes have to change my mind? Answer 60. Sometimes we need to change our minds when we receive new information or our situation changes. Your mother wants to make sure that you are open to change and willing to reconsider your opinion, so it is important that you change your mind sometimes. Question 61. Why am I not always allowed to understand everything the adults do? Answer 61. Sometimes adults do things that are complicated or difficult to understand. Your mother wants to make sure that you focus on your own tasks and are not overwhelmed, so she must not always let you understand everything the adults do. Question 62. Why am I not always allowed to have everything I see? Answer 62. It is important that we learn to deal with limitations and not always being able to have everything we see. Your mother wants to make sure that you learn to be grateful for what you have and not to be greedy for things you don't necessarily need, so she can't always let you have everything you see. Question 63. Why do I sometimes have to wait for others? Answer 63. Sometimes we have to wait for other people to be ready or to finish their tasks. Your mother wants to make sure that you are patient and give other people time, so it is important that you sometimes have to wait for others. Question 64. Why am I not always allowed to do everything on my own? Answer 64. Sometimes we need help or support from other people to get things done. Your mother wants to make sure you are successful and not overwhelmed, so she can't always let you do everything on your own. Question 65. Why do I sometimes have to compromise? Answer 65. Compromise is important to resolve conflicts and find common solutions. Your mother wants to make sure that you are considerate and respectful of others' needs, so it's important that you compromise sometimes. Question 66. Why can't I always have everything right away? Answer 66. Sometimes we have to wait to get something we want. Your mother wants to make sure you are patient and understand that not everything is available right away, so she may not always let you have everything right away. Question 67. Why do I sometimes have to follow rules that I don't understand? Answer 67. Rules are important to ensure order and safety. Your mother wants to make sure that you are a responsible person and respect the rules, so it is important that you follow rules sometimes, even if you do not fully understand them. Question 68. Why am I not always allowed to decide what we eat? Answer 68. It is important to have a balanced diet that contains all the nutrients our body needs. Your mother wants to make sure that you are healthy and have enough energy, so she must not always let you decide what we eat. Question 69. Why do I sometimes have to ask for permission? Answer 69. It is important to show respect and ask other people before we do something. Your mother wants to make sure that you are considerate and ask permission before you do something that may affect other people, so it is important that you ask permission sometimes. Question 70. Why do I sometimes have to wait to be rewarded? Answer 70. Sometimes we need to be patient and wait to be rewarded. Your mother wants to make sure you learn to be patient and not always expect instant rewards, so sometimes she needs to make you wait to be rewarded. Question 71. Why is it important to forgive others when they make mistakes? Answer 71. Forgiveness is important to find peace and let go of negative feelings. Your mother wants to make sure that you are a compassionate person and give other people a second chance, so it is important that you learn to forgive. Question 72. Why do I sometimes have to wait to get something new? Answer 72. Sometimes we have to be patient and wait until we can get something new. Your mother wants to make sure that you learn to be patient and not always expect instant gratification, so it is important that sometimes you have to wait until you can get something new. Question 73. Why is it important to help other people? Answer 73. Helping other people is a noble act that shows us how to show compassion and care. Your mother wants to make sure that you are a caring person and that you help others in need, so it is important that you help others when they need it. Question 74. Why do I sometimes have to compromise? Answer 74. Compromise is important to resolve conflicts and find common solutions. Your mother wants to make sure that you are a considerate person and respect the needs of others, so it is important that you compromise sometimes. Question 75. Why do I sometimes have to wait to get something? Answer 75. Sometimes we have to wait to get something we want. Your mother wants to make sure you learn to be patient and not always expect instant gratification, so it's important that you sometimes have to wait to get something. Question 76. Why is it important to follow rules? Answer 76. Rules are important to ensure order and safety. Your mother wants to make sure that you are a responsible person and respect the rules, so it is important that you follow the rules. Question 77. Why do I sometimes have to learn to deal with disappointments? Answer 77. Disappointments are part of life and help us learn and grow. Your mother wants to make sure you are resilient and can handle challenges, so it is important that you learn to deal with disappointments. Question 78. Why do I sometimes have to share things? Answer 78. Sharing is important to show others that we are generous and compassionate. Your mother wants to make sure that you are a kind person and help other people, so it is important that you share things sometimes. Question 79. Why is it important to understand that you can't always win? Answer 79. It's important to understand that losing is a part of life and teaches us how to deal with defeat. Your mother wants to make sure you are resilient and can handle setbacks, so it's important that you understand that you can't always win. Question 80. Why am I not always allowed to do everything I want? Answer 80. It is important that we learn to deal with limitations and not always being able to do everything we want. Your mother wants to make sure that you are responsible and understand the consequences of your actions, so she cannot always let you do everything you want. Question 81. Why is it important to take care of my health? Answer 81. Health is the most precious thing we have, and it is important to take care of it in order to live a happy and fulfilling life. Your mother wants to make sure that you are strong and healthy, so it is important to take care of your health. Question 82. Why am I not always allowed to get my way? Answer 82. It is important that we learn to compromise and respect the needs of others. Your mother wants to make sure that you are a respectful person and accept other people's opinions, so she cannot always let you get your way. Question 83. Why is it important to be honest, even when it is difficult? Answer 83. Honesty is an important quality that helps us build trust and maintain good relationships. Your mother wants to make sure that you are a sincere person and can trust other people, so it is important that you are always honest, even when it is difficult. Question 84. Why do I sometimes have to change my plans? Answer 84. Sometimes circumstances or our priorities change, and it is important to be flexible and adapt. Your mother wants to make sure you learn to cope with change, so it is important that you sometimes have to change your plans. Question 85. Why can't I always have what I see? Answer 85. Not everything we see is suitable or appropriate for us. Your mother wants to make sure that you learn to deal with limitations and not always get everything you see right away, so she can't always let you have what you see. Question 86. Why is it important to be considerate of others? Answer 86. Consideration helps us maintain harmonious relationships and promote peaceful coexistence. Your mother wants to make sure that you are a respectful person and considerate of other people's needs, so it is important that you show consideration for others. Question 87. Why am I not always allowed to do everything my friends do? Answer 87. Every child is unique and has different boundaries and needs. Your mother wants to make sure that you make your own decisions and don't just do what other children do, so she can't always make you do what your friends do. Question 88. Why do I sometimes have to overcome my fears? Answer 88. Overcoming fears is important to be brave and experience new things. Your mother wants to make sure that you are confident and not afraid to take on new challenges, so it is important that you sometimes have to overcome your fears. Question 89. Why is it important to forgive others, even if they have hurt us? Answer 89. Forgiveness is a sign of strength and helps us to let go of negative feelings and find peace. Your mother wants to make sure that you are a compassionate person and give other people a second chance, so it is important that you learn to forgive. Question 90. Why do I sometimes have to set boundaries? Answer 90. Setting boundaries is important to protect our personal needs and to keep us from being overwhelmed. Your mother wants to make sure that you are confident and respect your own boundaries, so it is important that you set boundaries sometimes. Question 91. Why is it important to care for our environment? Answer 91. Our environment is important for our well-being and our future. Your mother wants to make sure that you are responsible and respect nature, so it is important that you take care of our environment. Question 92. Why can't I always have everything right away? Answer 92. Sometimes we have to be patient and wait until we can get something. Your mother wants to make sure that you learn to be patient and not always expect instant gratification, so she may not always let you have everything right away. Question 93. Why is it important to support other people? Answer 93. Supporting other people is important to foster community and solidarity. Your mother wants to make sure that you are a helpful person and that you help others in need, so it is important that you support other people. Question 94. Why do I sometimes have to give up even though I want to fight? Answer 94. Sometimes it's important to recognize when it's time to let go and move on. Your mother wants to make sure you're wise and don't fight unnecessarily, so it's important that you give up sometimes when it's the right thing to do. Question 95. Why can't I always do whatever I want? Answer 95. It is important that we learn to deal with limitations and not always being able to do everything we want. Your mother wants to make sure that you are responsible and understand the consequences of your actions, so she cannot always let you do everything you want. Question 96. Why is it important to listen to other people? Answer 96. Listening is important to understanding other people and treating them with respect. Your mother wants to make sure that you are a thoughtful and empathetic person, so it is important that you listen to other people when they speak. Question 97. Why do I sometimes have to accept criticism? Answer 97. Criticism is important to learn and develop. Your mother wants to make sure that you are reflective and recognize your mistakes, so it is important that you sometimes accept criticism and learn from it. Question 98. Why am I not always allowed to know everything? Answer 98. There are things that may not be suitable or appropriate for you yet. Your mother wants to make sure that you grow up in a safe environment, so she can't always let you know everything. Question 99. Why is it important to trust other people? Answer 99. Trust is important to build relationships and create a positive atmosphere. Your mother wants to make sure that you are a trustworthy person and can trust other people, so it is important that you trust other people. Question 100. Why am I not always allowed to understand everything immediately? Answer 100. Sometimes things are complicated or take time to understand. Your mother wants to make sure that you are patient and willing to learn things, so she may not always let you understand everything right away. What should I do if someone touches me against my will? Girl. 10-year-old girl. Say no. If someone touches you and it feels weird or uncomfortable, it's important to say no immediately. Tell the person clearly that you don't want that and that they should stop. Walk away. If you feel uncomfortable, leave the situation immediately. Go to a place where you feel safe and protected. Get help. Find an adult you trust, such as a parent, teacher or caregiver, and tell them what happened. They will help and support you. Tell them it's important to talk about your feelings. If someone does something to you against your will, it's not okay and you should tell an adult so they can help you. Don't feel guilty. It's not your fault if something like this happens to you. It's important to understand that you have the right to set your boundaries and that no one has the right to harass you. Keep evidence. If possible, keep evidence of the incident, such as messages or notes. This can help if further steps need to be taken. Get help. If you're feeling uncomfortable or having trouble dealing with the incident, talk to a therapist or counselor. They can help you understand and cope with your feelings. Remember that it's important to take care of yourself and seek help when you need it. You deserve to be safe and protected, and it's important that you reach out to trusted adults when you need help. What should I do if someone touches me against my will? Boys. 10-year-old boy. Say no. If someone touches you and it feels weird or uncomfortable, it's important to say no. Tell the person clearly that you don't want that and that they should stop. Walk away. If you feel uncomfortable, leave the situation immediately. Go to a place where you feel safe and protected. Get help. Find an adult you trust, such as a parent, teacher or caregiver, and tell them what happened. They will help and support you. Tell them it's important to talk about your feelings. If someone does something to you against your will, it's not okay and you should tell an adult so they can help you. Don't feel guilty. It's not your fault if something like this happens to you. It's important to understand that you have the right to set your boundaries and that no one has the right to harass you. Keep evidence. If possible, keep evidence of the incident, such as messages or notes. This can help if further steps need to be taken. Get help. If you're feeling uncomfortable or having trouble dealing with the incident, talk to a therapist or counselor. They can help you understand and cope with your feelings. Remember that it's important to take care of yourself and seek help when you need it. You deserve to be safe and protected, and it's important that you reach out to trusted adults when you need help. Rights and ownership notice. This audiobook is published and distributed by Testbericht-Institut LLC. All copyrights, publishing rights, distribution rights, audio rights, and related intellectual property rights for this work have been lawfully and exclusively acquired by Testbericht-Institut LLC. Testbericht-Institut LLC is the sole and unrestricted rights holder of this audiobook, including the right to reproduce, distribute, publish, monetize, and publicly perform the content on digital platforms such as YouTube. The original manuscript files, source documents, and contractual acquisition records serve as proof of lawful ownership. The original author and/or their authorized representative, Renovatio LLC, has transferred all relevant rights to Testbericht-Institut LLC in accordance with applicable copyright and publishing law. This ownership applies to all current and future uses of this work, including audio, video, and digital publications. Effective date of rights ownership: the 1st of February 2026. Any unauthorized use, reproduction, re-upload, redistribution, or claiming of this content is strictly prohibited. Copyright Testbericht-Institut LLC. All rights reserved.